Things are finally happening on Azeroth by Bellular Warcraft. How many channels does Bellular have at this point?
9.2.5 is finally bringing us some Azerothian content. And right,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I really don't care if we're on Azeroth, on Argus, or whatever. Like the world needs to be relevant. Wouldn't matter if the current content was also relevant. It's like, how come that Bastion, Ravendreth, Ardenweald, and Maldraxxus are not relevant? They were barely relevant in like 9.0. They're not relevant in 9.1. They're not relevant in 9.2. The current world is not relevant. Why do I care if it's like Azeroth is relevant?
I think about my favorite quests in Shadowlands. They're kind of the ones where we went back to Azeroth with the Carians. Remember that
Yeah.
one with the villager and Rep?
But again, the reason this quest was actually interesting is because it was actually like a cool story.
Ridge, I mean, that was like one of the best quests they had.
True.
There's actually more coming. So
It was a
today,
cool story.
I'm going to give you the lowdown on how 9.2.5 is bringing us home. And to get ready, though, for what is to come, I do have some good news.
Imagine that you get the place, you get to be in the place where all creation started and manifested. Like the prototypes and all that stuff, and you'd rather still be on Azeroth. How bad of a content is that?
Re-released Dragon audiobooks are now out, and you can listen to them for free with a free trial to today's sponsor Audible using my link down below in the description. So you know the whole Galakron story? The story where the aspects literally become the aspects?
Yes,
well, that's
of
all
course.
told in the book Dawn of the Aspects. It's a foundational piece of Dragonflight lore, and it's a great 14-hour listen. The book follows the dragons from, well, Proto-Drake to Empowerment, and
how much you want to bet? If you read that saga or whatever, like the book or the few books, whatever, about the dragons, you'll find so many plot holes in Dragonflight. Like, you would literally be like, this makes no sense.
Of course, in Dragonflight, we actually face down the Primal Incarnates, who are directly tied to Galakron, and I certainly have some theories on that. So hit up the Audible link down below. Remember, once it is added to your account via the free trial, it's yours forever, even if you cancel the subscription. So big thanks to Audible for supporting the channel. Loads of the Warcraft library is there for you to enjoy.
Speaking of theories, I'm gonna say the next expansion after Dragonflight will have to do like the okay, Dragonflight is going to be similar to BFA, whereas like the first patch has something to do. The first, maybe the middle, like the 10.1 patch, will have something to do with Dragonflight, and then they completely forget that we're on Dragonland and we're gonna go the other way. So I honestly, I don't think we're gonna deal with Azeroth. I think Void Lords is next.
Let's get into the video.
Okay,
Changes
Stormwind and
came to
Orgrimmar.
both Stormwind and Orgrimmar on the PTR. This one was a bit of a mystery. Stormwind first then. So beside the Stockades post box, we've got a new cart. There's a worker NPC and Unessa, who gives us a quest to reclaim some stolen goods in the harbour. Now around the cart, we got art, various pots, ale, sleeping bag, some plushies. Now per Unessa, they're actually goods from the Sea Braids. Now, the Sea Braids are only really referenced in the Sea Braid Stallion mount from BFA, and its flavor text just doesn't help us much here, but I can assume they are some group of people from Kulturas who do have booty to sell. Now,
where'd they get the booty?
Tree, well, that's where we see that the cooks are gone, replaced by workers. And along the wall of a nearby house, there is a stable. The quest line is simple enough. You get some missing merch from a thief, then you toss some water on a few lazy workers. And once that's done, those workers appear back at the quest giver and they start working on just whatever is being built at that tree. Now, clearly they're working with the Sea Braids. To set up a shop or something? I'm not really sure. Now, they're clearly working with the Kultirans.
I mean, they're setting up another fucking harbor point, probably. Because there's no more area in the harbor of Stormwind, which is the biggest harbor. It only has room for 3 ships. To stop, to pick people up to go to Dragonflight land, whatever, Dragon Isles.
And of course, if I think about that, well, the Kaltira Navy is important to the Alliance. And we do know that Dragonflight is going to bring with it some form of minor update to the Stormwind and Orgrimmar harbors. And I suppose that kind of reminds me of the pre-Wrath of the Lich King events, where in patch 9. No, patch 2.4.3, we saw construction begin on the harbor as we actually know it today.
Yeah.
Now the Horde have got themselves a similar quest.
The best part would be, so this is the funniest part. So you're gonna have the same Dragonflight inviting you to the Dragon Isles for reasons, right? And then they're like, "We're inviting you there. Don't cause trouble. We need your help." Blah 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 blah. And then you get there, and like the entrance to Dragonflight is like the Horde ship and the land ship just start fighting. And I imagine in my head the dragons on the outside, ah, these fucking idiots! Not again, man! Just stop, you fucking morons! We're done with this shit. We need your fucking help. We don't need you to fucking spill blood here.
You catch a thief, you wake up some workers, and you return to find that the workers are back to
Look
work.
at that. The Horde and Alliance are not that different. They act exactly the same, just with dwarves and trolls.
Something I noticed after you've woken them up and you come back to the NPC, there are more workers in the area. Now, all the new NPC has to say is, not much here for you to look at yet. But then,
obviously,
I log into the PTR after like a week or two, and guess what happened? Things changed a little bit. Now there's actually a larger, more established looking stable building.
Wow.
It really does look a lot
the
more
world is living.
Things around it,
The world is alive now. Shit actually changed.
So this is a mystery. Now, being the epilogue patch to the expansion, you could perhaps imagine that these quests are going somewhere, that they could be setting something up.
Yeah, the pre-patch.
What's the deal with a few merchants getting set up? Why would Blizzard do quests where we help these merchants? What's going on? What's it all for? I don't really know. As for the new stable, I mean,
yes, you do. You know,
like,
obvious. It's a pre-patch.
People are done with Exile's Reach.
Pre-patch content.
Perhaps. Who knows? But for now, let's go to Terrasfall.
Okay. Is the plague over with?
Terrasfall Glades right now. The map looks pretty rough. And here is data mine minimap assets from the 9.2.5 PTR. So it looks better, right? It seems that Brill may be in a better spot, and those fires have finally stopped burning a bit.
Okay.
Now, per interviews, Callie and Menethil is going to be involved in some way, which does fit there being a new encrypted model for her on the public test realm. Now, of course, the role of Callie is a little bit of a controversial thing. She's a light-forged sort of undead, which is, I mean, essentially a new thing for the Warcraft setting. Then, she's the heir to Lordaeron, given that Arthas is dead, her father's dead, but obviously times have changed. It took a while for her to come out into the open, that's one thing. She really hasn't been through the struggle of the Forsaken, not really. They forged their own identity, so a lot of players don't love the idea of some rich noble traipsing in and being like, oh, well, you are my people, so I get to rule you.
Well, first of all, that's not exactly how it worked at all. Like, it doesn't even have to go back to a monarchy, if we're honest, right? The whole point is that Kalia Menethil cares about her people. She would probably just, at most, join their council, the council that the Forsaken already formed. And the other thing is, a lot of the Forsaken didn't leave, not only because they were Forsaken, but because like that was their home regardless. So they still have pride in their city, in their state, right? So in their, their home. So in that regard, if they do have pride, I don't think they would necessarily say anything against her. Now, what should have happened, in my opinion, is a sort of forgiveness to Arthas, kind of like how they're forgiving Sylvanas. A clarification that Arthas was actually used by the jailer, and then she would she would find out about and work to clear the name of the Menethil, like clear the Menethil name, right? So Arthas was not, an evil maniac. It was, it was the jailer or something like that. And that, I think, would be more justice to Arthas than being a fucking fart, right? And it's not even just Arthas, just for the whole Menethil name, Menethil lineage. And then you would have, and then you can easily use that to eventually cause some diplomatic problems, because you're going to have two different kingdoms. You're going to have the Undercity Kingdom, which would be like Lordaeron, right? That's what it was before, yeah, Lordaeron. And then you have Stormwind, which has its own kingdom. Now, yeah, whatever, they're all fallen, but it's like, as far as I understand, Stormwind owes Lordaeron pretty much a big debt, because that's where Varian Rin went to escape when the Horde took over Stormwind and all that shit, right? So it's like they still owe them pretty big debt. Not saying that they're gonna ask to collect, but they can't just based on that history, they can't just like go and annihilate a Manethil stronghold, let alone Kalia and what's his face, Anduin are on very friendly terms, right? So.
It feels a bit weird. Now, as it stands, Kalia is a member of the Horde Council, standing in for the Forsaken, but it's not like she's their leader. Now, she did travel to Shadowlands, I believe, with Talia, but well, she didn't really do much at all, did she?
Nothing at all.
Of course, for
Yes.
925,
Completely
we're
useless.
thinking along the lines of like there's some of the Sylvanas Dark Rangers, as well as the Risen Night Elf Rangers that Kalia did
Lily of
help deal
Oz,
with
yeah.
Undeath towards the end of BFA, and I suppose Derek Proudmore. I wonder if he would appear.
Like I'm pretty sure all she will be just a member of the council that they have in Undercity, so it's going to be more of a Republic type thing. It feels like a lot of them are just switching to a Republic type of well, except Storm, and Storm is still a monarchy, but it's like a lot of and all the other races have not, like, we have Night Elf refugees, Stormwind is a monarchy, the dwarves haven't changed since Cataclysm, I guess, with the three dwarven alliance. Draenei's, honestly, I don't even know who their leader is. Valen's kind of MIA, right? Worgen are pretty much under Stormwind. Who else is there? Gnomes are pretty much under. Again, gnomes don't really have a ruler, or like they have what's his name, like the gnome king, whatever. But it's like they don't really have anything. They're also kind of like refugees, right? Because like their home, Mecha Gnome, was just like demolished. So whatever. Uh, who else is there? Lightforged Draenei doesn't matter. They don't have a leader. Allied race. Void Elves. Laria is technically their leader, but like they don't really have a leader, and they're under Stormwind. Like, yeah, so it's like literally you only have two rulers for the all alliance, just the dwarves and the humans, and the rest are like kind of refugees. It's like it doesn't even matter. And then the horde basically changed to a republic type, which is like you have the council, sure, and trust me, like that's like prelude to a republic type thing. Scourge, Forsaken are gonna have a council basically. So there's that. There technically is already a council. It was like council and Sylvanas is gone, so it's just gonna be the council now.
Back, there's also a quest.
And it's like it's gonna be Jaina's brother, which can cause problems, Lillian Vaz, and you had like the 5 other members of the Horde, which is basically like the local traders or something. And you have Kalimental. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That has been dynamite.
And she'll just and Kalimental is just going to be the representative across factions.
So I suppose expect to learn more
She's
about
like the speaker.
fate and their internal affairs in 925. Next, then.
And let's be real, we'll almost never hear anything but the internal affairs. It will be in a book or something. The politics and WoW doesn't really exist in the game.
The other city that got destroyed. There's not much to say
gift.
here, other than Tyrande has a new animation where she appears to be carrying something. And then there was a new model for something called the Queen's Gift. The basically looks like a big tier of a loon wild seed thing. There's also an encrypted cinematic that references it. So
I
don't know
hope they
what's it to
don't
be.
resurrect
I mean, could we
Teldrassil.
see a restoration of Night Elf lands via the planting of this gift? And
I would say yes, but I would really hope it's not in it's not the tree. They really shouldn't go back on the tree burning. They should make a home somewhere else. They can literally just add land to fucking there's so many useless like zones in what's it called in Eastern Kingdoms. Just fucking use that. Who cares? Honestly, they can just live in what's it called. Now that Sylvanas is gone, they can reclaim Gilneas and just have the elves live there and build their fucking tree there or some shit.
I know some people speculate it may be planted at the sword, and that would sort of fit Blizzard playing with the what sword meme, but I really do imagine that the sword will be used for something else quite a bit down the line. I mean, who knows? They could always just fix up Teldrassil with it. I mean,
no, please don't.
Nutrients in that ash, right? It can
please
clear the way
don't.
for some new growth.
The whole point was that like you're gonna like divide the continents to be Horde controlled and Alliance controlled, and that's it.
Maybe. And unlike Teldrassil, whatever comes from this wild seed thing, it will kind of like have the blessing that Teldrassil had always lacked. No need to go through all of the Teldrassil lore, but basically TLDR, Fandral just kind of went off on his own and he was a pretty loopy dude. Now, I do believe
A
that
loopy dude, Fandral. Okay,
got displaced with some of those Stormwind changes, so perhaps maybe they've got somewhere to go. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows where that seed could get planted? But the Queen's gift was given to Deronda for some reason, so expect a storyline there.
Honestly, I think Gilneas would be the best spot for them, to be honest. They have roots there. That's like they technically kind of started the whole Worgen curse kind of thing, right? So it's like not start like the whole like wolf spirit, which was like a druid form that was prohibited because they couldn't control the wolf spirit. So that's how they kind of knew how to resolve that issue. But it's like they have some roots there. It's by the sea. They can plant it there, make a big tree, and then it's technically a reclamation of Gilneas. There's no point in making a kingdom in Gilneas anymore. So whatever. And honestly, what's his name? Greymane is gonna be too busy in Stormwind anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
We then have a set of new racial quest lines. There's one for the Dark Iron Dwarves, another for the Blood Elves. Now, the Dark Iron one is
oh no,
that's a bit more short and simple. Its rewards are awesome, though. Basically, these Dark Iron weapons were in the game files, but there wasn't a way to get them. Now there is a way, and honestly, they look so cool that I kind of want to roll a warrior for them.
He looks like a fucking transformer. The axe, in my opinion, is pretty cool, but again, too square.
I mean, just look how cool those weapons are, so that's pretty nice. Okay, also, the Blood Elves. They're a bit more interesting. They have a quest line that has been played on the PTR. I'm not going to fully spoil it for you, but it's basically all about the defense of their homeland now that the Scourge have no centralized controlling force. And I actually love what Blizzard have done here with the story. It's a way for Blizzard to have no Lich King, no Zoval, but still make the Scourge potentially a more interesting threat. Essentially, the strongest of the Scourge now lead the weak. The Sand Lane are back, that's another thing, and I kind of just love it. So not only do we get just a great quest line that just feels like, good old shenanigans, we also get the ability, because of how they've set this up, to tell more Scourge stories in the future, and in a way where they will feel different to the ones we've had thus far. I mean, going around Duskwood, it was never like, oh, the Lich King's plan. It was just spooky stories with skeletons and ghouls and things.
Yeah, obviously.
It was nice. In the Ghostlands, that was the whole, was it Darkan Darthir?
Ghostlands was the shit.
He was basically just a warlord. So I think that those sorts of stories are great, and I really like how Blizzard have set up the Scourge to...
The first time I did Ghostlands, oh my god, man, I loved it. I didn't like the troll stuff too much, but like everything that had to do with the undead and stuff, oh, that was so good, man. And the sword at the end, so fucking good looking, man. Like, man, Ghostlands was done right in my opinion. Like way better than Draenei. Draenei is like shitty as quests. Like I didn't really like the Draenei quests, but the Blood Elf quests were so fucking good.
Just be an ongoing thing in the world. Another important thing, though, is a character is back from the Burning Crusade. Salandria. She's all grown up now, and she was, of course, first seen in the Burning Crusade's Children's Day. Now, when you took her to the Caverns of Time, the guards try to attack her, but Zalodormu stops them, saying that she can't be punished for the things that she might do or fail to do in the future.
Oh.
Now that is interesting, because she either does or fails to do something in the future. That's what those bronzes saw. Now, after Children's Week, you get a mail from her, and you find out that Liadrin has taken her in. And there's a few interesting bits of information with this character. I mean, first, it's just nice to see some continuity go on. But when she got a dragon toy, she said, "Someday
awesome,
I
a dragon
plan to own a real
on.
one." So that's kind of funny going into
Oh
Dragonflight.
boy.
And then when you find a coin that she flipped into the Dalaran fountain, the flavor text read, "Someday I'm going to be more powerful than all the mages."
Oh boy.
So hey, is that just a kid full of ambition, right? Fired up to go on adventures? I mean, hey, does make sense, and now she does show up here.
Feels as if I've been trying for ages.
Serve her country.
Is she too? Okay, is she gonna be the two? This will be no easy task. More will be expected of you than any other.
But I mean, of course, Dragonflight is our next expansion. She's ambitious. She's fired up. And
yeah, she's ambitious, and ambition is, you know, kind of what got Arthas to be the Lich King. So you know.
She either does or fails to do something that made the Bronze Flight guards attack her in the Burning Crusade. We know the Bronzes are going to be part of the story in Dragonflight.
Oh, they have to be.
Now, I severely doubt that Salandria is going to become a villain. Maybe she'll be just someone who makes a questionable judgment call because she's in a hard position, she's young.
I honestly think she would be not as full-on villain. She will be a boss, either a dungeon or a raid boss. But like, I don't think we're killing her. I think we're just like beating her to teach her a lesson or something like that. Or like beating her and then she realizes her mistakes or some shit like that.
She doesn't have experience. Who knows? I mean, many of us do wonder how even more zombies.
She might be like, honestly, with while I was writing, she'll probably be like a very childish character who is like, I know better, I'm strong, blah blah blah, I'm a grown as fucking woman or some shit like that. Make a mistake, you have to beat her up to make her realize that she's like not in her right mind or some shit, and then it's like it's all good.
Into Dragonflight, perhaps the Bronze.
Forgive her after beating her and all that stuff.
The rest of the quest line is just a nice slice of Blood Elf action. It's the sort of thing that grounds your character in the factions of Azeroth. It's just the sort of thing I want to see, and that I want to see Blizzard do more of. Now, while Salandria did get all of the buzz given her inclusion...
I mean, I am really happy that they're continuing as a character from, like, TBC, which, like, no one even knew of, basically. So it is kind of cool.
I really should...
Credit where credit is due. That is really cool.
Interesting things to say about Dorna, who is the Draenei child. Basically, the same bronze dragon also prevented guards from...
Oh, here we go.
With pretty much the exact same reason as Salandria. I think the only difference was that she was, like, fated to become a great shaman. Now, of course, the elements are going to tie pretty majorly into Dragonflight.
They have to, yeah.
But we've not seen Dorna yet, so maybe that'll go nowhere. As for other things, well, there's some highborn music. I saw Wowhead post about that apparently is like in and around the length of, I think was it Samaya or Portergate you said? I forget, one of the two. Anyway, said it was about as long as what a allied race intro usually is, so that's interesting.
Not long enough.
And look, that's mostly it. You may still wonder, what sword? Well, Blizzard are playing with the idea of what sword themselves, and in an interview they actually did say they've got plans for it. Seemingly not for Dragonflight, though, but it is something that they do have plans for. It will be a future story, so...
Spoilers are gonna come, for sure.
What about a release date, then? I don't know shit.
Exactly.
I can tell you one thing.
It's really hard to tell.
The public test realm is currently set to Season 3. And I think that perhaps indicates that 9.2.5 is being prepared so that it can release during Season 3. So, you know, not a few months away from now. So I think it actually mightn't be long. And I mean, if it does come out well before Season 4, then it's not like Blizzard would have to get the new gearing systems of Season 4 completely, built and perfect. So there you go. Some stuff going on in Azeroth. Some nice storylines. We've got, I guess,
I'm not gonna lie.
storyline.
I don't think Blizzard needs any more like zones or leveling areas. They can just keep adding raid tiers and some quests, like over and over. But obviously expansions like make money. But it's like they can make like every like third patch like its own expansion, right? And you can sell that. And you don't need more leveling, you just like the item level just keeps increasing, whatever, until they maybe decide to nerf all of it or some shit like that. Like there's no real reason to make more expansions and leveling zones. Right? It's like the story like this is like a 20 basically a 20-year-old game, right? It's like at some point, like you know how like like Supernatural ended recently, 14 seasons, man. That's 14 years, man. At some point it has to end. The story will have to end, right? Like the zones will have to end. Just like make raid tiers around new, like if you want to expand the world, make raid tiers and shit like that. Like just keep making patches with more raids, right? Just make more content, and like you will not have to worry so much about all the other shit. But again, but that might turn into more of an ESO thing, so that's not exactly a Blizzard thing. But I don't know, man. Like these expansions and new zones and stories is like, if Blizzard wants to be lazy, might as well just, commit to it kind of thing,
For the Horde, a Forsaken storyline for the Alliance, a Blood Elf storyline, a Dark Iron Dwarf storyline, and potentially some sort of epilogue-ish storyline going on with Tyrande. There's also, like, I think Dorothur, and there's like a few animations or whatever that were data mined, so there could be a little bit more epilogue content. I mean, there is that sort of cliffhanger thingy at the end.
I mean, I guess it's
Also,
very similar to how Destiny does stuff, right? Because Destiny, like, yeah, it has expansions, right? But it's like it's really like the expansion is like a patch with a raid. That's and like a few dungeons, and it's like you just don't have access to it. All they have to do, really, it's like instead of selling an expansion, sell a raid tier, right? It's like, oh, you want to go to this raid tier? All right, here you go. And overall, it's gonna cost you the same as buying a full expansion. It actually would cost you less to buy that than an expansion, and you just unlock it. Kind of like how I guess again, ESO kind of how they do chapters, which is like it feels more like DLCs than actual expansions.
Sylvanas novel, where it's kind of implied that Anduin joins her in the Maw, and then,
For reasons.
well, we understand Anduin is going to make a fairly important decision soon. So it actually could be the case that he will decide something major in patch 9.2.
He's gonna fucking meditate in the maw while Sylvanas is doing duties, daily duties.
5. And maybe that's what some of the data mining fragments actually point towards. Some people think he might abdicate the throne, right? He might leave for a bit. Of course, citing that he's obviously a bit compromised. He's been through a hell of a time, and if
It's like the worst thing he can do, abdicate the throne. Like why? It's literally like it's him just running away from his duties at that point. If he abdicates, like, oh, it's gonna be better for me. No, it's not. Literally, probably one of the better rulers Stormwind had in forever. Like, yeah, he's childish and like, yeah, he doesn't have battle experience, but at least he comes from a good place, and like he wants peace, and he wants like he's really anti-evil, right? Which is, and it's like he's not fanatic about it, unlike the current sitting ruler of Stormwind, Aurelian, who has a massive vendetta about against undead horde and against the void.
Anduin was to leave the throne, Turalian, of course, would stay in his present position and be the de facto leader of the Alliance. And of course, you'll know that we have a lot of thoughts about that we went over in a few videos in the past. So there you go. While it does not promise to be a massive patch, 9.2.5 does seem to be a patch that's giving us a nice little sprinkle of familiarity, pushing the Azerothian storyline forward. That's exactly what I want ahead of Dragonflight. Okay, so there you go. That's it for today's video. Of course, a big thanks to our sponsor today. You can check out all of their stuff down in that video description. Really do support us a hell of a lot, really. So yeah, thanks to them, and of course, thank you to you for watching today's video. Have a great one, and I'll see you next time.
Peace out, Bellular. Good video. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings about this. It's like the thing is like there are a lot of like good small things, but I have no trust in the writing team, in the storytelling team, the lore team, that they can actually like make something good out of it. And like that's pretty much it. Would be cool. I don't know. There's so many like ways you can go about the two children that grew up and now they're like gonna be dragon riders or whatever. It would be cool if they would be a part of a new battleground, and you will need to support her or support them, as Alliance support the Draenei and Horde supports the Blood Elf for something, and they're both dragon riders, and you need to do certain things to empower them while they're fighting in the air or some shit like that. I think that can be a pretty cool thing. It's like kind of like fill the bar type of thing, you know. But we'll see. Maybe there'll be a story thing. Maybe it'll be a PvP thing. I don't know. Anyways, on to the next one.